We're going to do double. So I'll show you the full version of it first, and then I'm going to do modified today. So the full version is this front leg is parallel to the front of the mat. That's really important. Don't let that foot creep in. Okay, keep it there parallel to the foot. Then the ankle goes right onto that knee there. So it must go right onto the knee, not any lower down here. So right up onto that knee there. And then you sit in this position, and the aim is during the 5-minute full pose hold, that knee goes lower and lower till it sits on to that ankle there. Okay, but if you're kind of twisted over to the side and the knees up like mine, I could probably stay with that because I'm quite central. But I am going to do the easier version this morning, and that leg should get lower and lower and lower. So if you're kind of in between and the easy version is too easy, then you can pop a yoga block or 2 or 3 under your bum to make it a bit easier, and also move against the wall with the yoga blocks. That can make it a bit easier. But I'm going to go with the chair, which is the easiest version of all. So don't forget, most runners are really tight in the hips, so this can be a real challenge for a lot of people. So in this case, you're going to sit there with the knee here. I'm going to start the clock. Foot here. That feels quite good this morning because I did this last night for 5 minutes. So, and bear in mind, we're not as mobile in the morning, so it's generally a bit harder, but that feels pretty good today. And then regardless of what position you're in, you want to get that elbow on that ankle, this elbow on the knee, and then lengthen the spine and lean into the stretch there. Now I can feel it. It's not super, super intense, but it's enough that this is probably a good position for me this morning. If that eases off much more, I'd probably change and go onto the floor and use yoga blocks. So this is a 5-minute pose hold. You don't have to stay in it for 5. You can do 3 minutes if that's where you're at. But I'd rather you modify and stay in it for the full 5 minutes, rather than staying in a harder position and just doing 2 minutes. So really lengthen the spine, and as you feel this stretch ease, then just lean into the stretch more and more. It's a real big, deep hip opening stretch. Okay, and then if we use the breath work to try and relax into this stretch. So inhale through the nose for 4 and exhale through the mouth for 8, and keep that cycle going on. And that's going to help us get deeper into that stretch. So I know this is really challenging for a lot of us, so I would encourage you to include it in your homework. And you can really do this when you're watching telly at night, just sit in this position. I took the chair into the room last night and just started doing double pigeon. I've got a funny luck, but you don't need to go any longer than 5 minutes. 5 minutes is a max hold, but it's an easy one to do this, as in practice it anywhere at any time. It's not easy pose. Right, I've got 2 minutes left, so if you've had enough and you're at your maximum, come out of the pose, relax and wait for us to finish. But if you can hold on, I encourage you to try and get to that 5 minutes. If you're feeling any knee pain, which you can quite a lot in this one, just flex this foot, flex the foot, and that will help with any knee pain. I always find it strange because this is the hip I am more flexible in, but I can feel knee pain in this pose sometimes, so you just have to be careful. We don't want it, again, I always say this, we don't want any intense pain that you can pinpoint. That's bad. Come out and modify. If it's a general aching all over, that's okay. We're into our final minute. Really focusing on the breath work for me. We're into our last 20 seconds. Can you lean into the stretch anymore? And use the breath work to relax. Okay, I think we're all okay now. Don't know what happened there. Okay. So because this right side is that bit tighter, when I do this in homework tomorrow, I should do it. I'm going to do longer on this right side. So 50% longer. Hang on, that's 7.5 minutes. I don't want to do that. I can't stay in this for 7.5 minutes. I won't be able to move again. We'll see what happens. So now it's starting to ease a little bit now, so I can start to lean forward into this stretch. Remember, elbows on the knee, elbows on the ankle, and lengthen the spine and lean forward into it, chest forward. It does feel marginally better than when I did it in homework last night though, which is good, especially considering it's first thing in the morning, but we have just moved around, so things have warmed up a little bit. Oh man. You're still there? Don't know what's going on with the internet this morning. Okay, keep going. I think we're back on. Okay. Cool. 90 seconds left. See if we can make it through the class with internet. Okay, final minute. Use your breath work. You'll notice as you just lean in that little bit further, it really intensifies that stretch around the hip. Final 30 seconds. Last 10 seconds. And relax. Okay, carefully come out of that. Okay, if we lie back on our mat, we'll just do, if you've got time, 2 minutes of relaxation just to set us up for the day. So just lying on your back. Okay, palms facing up to the ceiling. And just drop your head to the left. And then your head to the right. Back to the center. Let your body go heavy. Let your feet relax, hands relax, face relax. And let your breathing return back to normal. Okay, push your arms up to the ceiling. Big stretch up. Hug your knees into your chest. And up to sitting. Well done.